No, Norse paganism is not an open practice.
Stop talking.
I've seen people, multiple people, who have made offerings to the Norse spirits whose ancestors don't come from Norse people, and those gods and those spirits have had it out with them.
Stop.
Blue Steel? Ferrari? Latigra? They're the same face! Doesn't anyone notice this? I feel like I'm taking crazy pills!
Okay, so we start out that this is nonsense. You believe it's probably based on syncretism, whatever. And then you explain what syncretism is. And you state, while some gods, for example, Aphrodite and Encephalids import from other places, the claim that this applies to all deities is ridiculous. Okay, so now that's out of the way, onto the really crazy stuff. No, these beings are not based in any way on any physical beings of any kind, let alone physical beings that were present in any capacity. This claim is just wildly unsupported by any form of archaeological evidence. It is one thing to make this claim as a personal gnosis, but it's a whole other thing to make this claim as scientific fact. Oh, and on a side note, the 12 apostles and Jesus Christ aren't based on anyone. They actually literally existed. They're historical figures. The archaeological record crosses up in some points with the theological record. So maybe archaeological is the wrong adjective to use there. But we don't have a term for when they cross up. So archaeotheologic record, maybe? Anyway, me saying that all these things, all these different pantheons line up, except for mainly the Hinduism and the Orisha, they go over here. That's not my personal gnosis. See, I'm 46, so that is 30-something years of research that proves that they all line up. And I already have this, the explanation on my playlist, my witchcraft playlist on my YouTube, so I'm not about to go into that again. However, the last thing you said was about how Christ and all that stuff is not related to any other thingy. That's just a great big lie. Everything miraculous that was supposed to have happened in the Bible never actually happened in that time. They are all retellings that were plucked from past religions. Then they inserted the proper names and they put it into the Bible. I've already proved that too. I'm not going to go into that. But I will prove to you the synchronicity. So let's go. This notebook is old as hell. All right. So when it comes to the 12 disciple, that started with the 12 shifts of the zodiac in the sky that you see. But all these things preceded Christianity. So Odin had 12 sons. Zoroastrians had 12 commanders on the side of light. Jewish had the 12 tribes of Israel. There's always been 12 main gods. For the Mithras, Mithra had 12 disciples. And in Shia Muslims, there's 12 ruling imams that followed Muhammad. The Christian God is no different than Zeus, Jupiter, or any other head of the earthly pantheon. The son being born of a virgin is definitely not a new concept. That was just straight stolen. And everything that the saints are over, you can go to Catholic.org to get this. Every single thing that the saints are over applies to all of the deities and the sub-deities. So the main 12 and their children. Oh, and on a side note, if you put the angels and then the God and Jesus and stuff, and then the demons, you also get the exact same pantheon that exists in every other culture. So your opinion is just a lack of knowledge, which I don't see how that's physically possible when you have a computer in your hand. The only thing that I teach that is my personal gnosis is when it's something that I learned when I was dead. Not near-death experience, actually dead. Because I must concede that that is something that I experienced that no one else did. The rest of what I teach is based on records, historical, factual records that we have found. And that doesn't care about my gnosis or anyone's feelings. Okay. I know that you know, because I know you. I know that you know the difference between coincidences and theories. So when these coincidences pop up at the exact same time that follows the migration patterns of human beings, which then also matches up with further concrete archaeological discoveries that starts with animism. You popped up, which was in the lower Paleolithic, and then on to anthropomorphizing in the upper Paleolithic, into finally the arrival of actual deities. I have to keep my head here, or they'll be like, here's showing nudity. It's no longer a coinky-dink. That's called empirical evidence. Correlation does not equal causation much of the time, but evidential correlation does. For example, if you did not see or find any physical evidence that a husband unalived their wife, but you do have the footage of him pulling out of his garage at X time in the AM, and the tracking system in his car shows that he went along X route at the same time, and his wife's phone pings on the same route at the same time, and her body is found at the point where he stops on that route before he turns around and comes back, that is called evidential correlation. He unalived her. And if that's not enough to override your feelings about something, I can't help you or anyone else that disagrees with it.